Hey, beautiful souls. Hope you guys are doing well tonight. I'm doing another reading for you guys, another collective message. And I will be open to take personal live readings if you guys are interested. Okay. So I pulled some cards. Hi, Dreamer. How are you? I pulled some cards to start off the message. I'm just going to wait for a few more people to jump in. Hey, Hagar. Hey, Queen Cam. How are you? Something's wrong with my phone. I can't get in. Hold on. I feel like my phone has been hacked, you guys. Look at my phone. Like I can't. I don't know if you guys can see. Like the notifications are on the home screen. I can't get past this. I don't. How do you guys turn off your phone? Because my phone, even though I'm holding down this button, I don't have a home button. I can't turn it on. I don't know how to turn my phone off. Okay, now it's finally letting me get to. Okay, sorry. I don't know what the freak. All right. I needed to get to the live so that I could see the chat. Hi, everyone. I forgot what type of iPhone this is. I think this is an 11. I don't remember. All right. So the message is time to be brave. Sorry. Consider that a blooper. Yeah, I did. It doesn't work. See, like I could hold it down and nothing happens. I don't know why. It doesn't work for me. Hey, Miss Yolanda. Um, all right. So there you guys go. All right. So the message is time to be brave. Reaching your full potential. Shoot, I spelled reaching wrong, but I'll fix it. I'll fix it later. Let's see if I can fix it while I'm doing reaching your full potential. So the two cards that I got, and I'm using this new deck that I got, by the way, is Mars Motion and Midheaven Pinnacle. So these are the two cards that are going to start off this collective message. Now, I also clarified, I got the Judgment card in reverse to clarify the Mars energy, and I got the Three of Swords in reverse to clarify the Pinnacle energy. And I thought that was very interesting. So I'm going to wait. Um, I'm going to wait a few minutes here. I've already smudged and cleaned and cleansed the space. You guys do your breathing, set your intentions. The overall energy is the Knight of Swords. So there is this underlying message of having to fight for your right. Fight for your right, right? So there's a fight. And it's not like it's a proverbial fight. It doesn't mean that there's an actual fight. It could be. There could be something that you need to overcome. There could be a challenge. There could be people challenging you. Or this is you fighting, not to give up, fighting for a cause, or fighting just to reach a particular goal in your life, okay? Because you may be at a point where you're kind of not feeling like you're up for the challenge, so to speak, but you are. You're definitely up for the challenge, beloveds, and I want you guys to know that. So we have that you're doubting and judging yourself with this Judgment card in reverse. And you're judging yourself very harshly. And this is why I'm saying that there's a need for you to really fight to get over a particular hurdle. And this Knight of Swords here is saying to be courageous. As you can see, he is fighting a lion. I think that that's what that is, right? He has the sword drawn and he doesn't seem very afraid. He's kind of standing and ducking and diving. So there is some sort of challenge that you're facing And it feels like it's internal because we have the Three of Swords and it's in reverse. So the pinnacle is the accomplishment. It is the reaching a pinnacle point in your journey. And the midheaven is the highest point in your birth chart. It's a very public energy. It's, you getting to a point in your journey here. And I had pulled up the book's definition of the midheaven because we're not going to pretend I'm an astrologer here, even though I have some knowledge. But so this is about taking inventory. It points to your reputation because the midheaven contains clues about how your family trained you to be visible in the world, your relationship to other people's authority, and how you step into your own personal authority. So there is this big theme of inner authority, and being able to take back control, right? Taking back the wheel and facing the challenges and knowing that you can overcome them however they come, whatever form they come in, because they could come in multiple forms, and there could be this belief that these challenges that you face, they could be very, very real, and I'm not taking away from whatever you're going through. I'm just saying that however way you perceive these challenges, there is this doubt that you're harboring, that you're carrying around, doubting yourself. And Mars is calling you to take action, making a decision. Hey, Miss Free, I hope you feel better today. So I'm going to pin the website information for anyone that's interested in getting a personal live reading with me today. Okay. Um, so it describes the future mountaintop, the pinnacle of your work in the world. The midheaven is the highest point of your chart where the sun would be at midday. This most public visible point of the chart acts like the flagpole on top of your personal castle. And it says, think about the training you received. Okay. Notice where it still serves you, where you need to release these preconceptions and step into the bigger picture. You may need to go back to hidden dreams or reawaken ambition that may not make sense to anybody else. If you choose not to seek your sense of accomplishment as reflected in the outside world, your midheaven can speak of a quieter sense of personal authority. This is your life. Define the mountaintop for yourself. The mountaintop or the mountain suggests the obstacle, right? So there's a mountain, right? And this is about moving that mountain. How do you find a way to get past the mountain, the obstacle, whatever that is for you? Whether it's financial, whether it's romantic or emotional, mental, whatever. So there is this need for you to get on top of that mountain, put your flag up. It's the victory. I've conquered this mountain. I was able to climb it. I was able to get to the top. And the top is bringing you to a point where there is healing, or there is this removal of this energy of disappointment or failure in a sense. And this is a mental thing here with this Three of Swords. This Nine of Swords is calling you to overcome, Nine of Swords, your fears. Okay. And with this Justice card, this is also bringing in an alignment or balance back into your life. Let's clarify Justice because it is in reverse. But what I'm seeing is coming out of this energy of your life being imbalanced, feeling that things are always unfair for you. It's coming out of that energy and conquering, the devil, so to speak. You know how some people say the devil is a lie, or it's the devil. I ain't gonna let the devil, stop me. People say things like that. People that are religious sometimes say those type of things, and it is kind of like you overcoming this challenge. Could be a inner demon. You ever heard of people saying, I'm fighting my demons? This is kind of like that energy, because Mars is bringing in the energy of fighting, the Knight of Swords too. Fighting, conquering, overcoming. This is tenacity, this is determination, and this is courage. Okay. And in the higher octave, the Knight of Swords is a very righteous energy. It's a very honest energy. It's a very protective energy as well. So there is this self-preservation, okay, and there could be a little bit of a survival mode energy happening for some of you guys. Have some of you guys been feeling like you've been in survival mode? Now, the Judgment card could also be missing or not learning a karmic lesson. And the challenge that you may be facing, the Mars energy, the complications, the obstacles, and these obstacles can come in many forms. So let's just say the Mars energy represents people around you that you're having conflicts with. And these conflicts can be any type of conflict. So think about someone that you may be in conflict with right now, or you've recently been in conflict with. And think about if this is a conflict that you've experienced before. And think about why you might be experiencing that conflict. There's some sort of lesson behind it. It's something that has been coming up in your life, and it is about how it's teaching you, how the challenge is teaching you to make different decisions or take different action steps. Okay? It's about the way you respond versus how you react as well. So as I stated before, there could be a issue with learning a particular lesson, and it's being presented to you by the universe, because the universe is saying there is a need for you to be able to overcome this lesson so that you don't keep experiencing this pain, so that you don't keep suffering, beloveds. So what would that lesson be for you? Just this is just a rhetorical question, and if you want to answer, you can, of course. I do encourage you guys to participate. This is an interactive. This is why I'd like to do these at night. So what kind of changes you could make? So in the general context, the Judgment tarot card is about, again, in reverse, is judging yourself, maybe possibly judging yourself way too harshly. And there could be a reason for that, right? No judgment, of course. Like, let's just say, when I say no judgment, this means that when I bring up these topics in your readings, or when I'm pointing out things in your readings, your own patterns, not that I'm judging you for them, it's acknowledging them so that you can take accountability, so that you know that you do have a sense of control. Sometimes we feel like things are happening and there's no control. And that leaves you feeling vulnerable. It leaves you feeling scared, afraid. It can leave you feeling anxious. But when you can identify what the issue is, and there's a solution, that gives you a little bit of power, right? Hey, Miss Taylor, how are you? To make some changes. Now, you guys, most of you guys were in my live last night, and you guys know that I've shared my feelings and thoughts about this journey, doing tarot. I talked about possibly ending this journey. This has been 4 years. And I talked about how I'm thinking about not doing it anymore, because I feel like I've been putting a lot of work, time, and effort in it, and I have not been receiving the kind of support that I'm not seeking validation. At some point, it was a form of me needing to be validated for all the energy I put out. But at the end of the day, it's basically, when you think about all the content. And if you look, like I said, if you look at my homepage, I produced over 1,600 videos. That's a lot of videos. that's a lot, right? 1,600 videos that I've produced. And that's not counting the videos that I've, recorded and didn't upload. So I say that to say this. I felt like there was lack of reciprocation. I felt like all the hard work that I was putting in, I felt like people wasn't fucking with me. And it's so interesting, because I've been feeling like this for a very long time. This is nothing new. I've made mention of this. If you have been an avid follower, you have heard me make mention of me saying, didn't like the fact that I had to beg for people to like my videos. Putting out content, not getting the views, putting out content, not getting validation, putting out content people are taking, or plagiarizing and all that kind of stuff. And just feeling like now I'm putting in the work, and the it's not giving me the fulfillment that I need to keep going. It feels more like a chore, it feels depleting versus, making me feel like I am actually getting some sort of fulfillment or nurturing or nourishment from it. So um, there was another reader that posted, and she had got a lot of views because she posted outrightly that she was going to stop doing readings. And I've heard readers say this too in the past. This is not, like I said, this is not me, just me. Anybody that's putting their time, effort, and energy into something, trying to build something, and who's not seeing results are going to feel some type of way. It's just, we're human. And it's the point that when you tell someone you're putting out free content, here comes everybody. I don't know if some of you guys remember when I had did the free readings during one of those full moons, recent full moons. And the only requirement was like and subscribe, right? Which is free. And it's so crazy to me because I'm not asking for money. I'm asking you to just like and subscribe. And I did get, I did a lot of readings that day and I only got a few people that subscribed. And you know what they did? The ones that did subscribe eventually unsubscribed later on. It's like when people hear free, they're ready to come in and get the free reading, but when it comes to supporting, they're not willing to support. And I just think that that is unfair. And I think that there's a lot of things that happens to some of you guys that feel very unfair. But the problem is that when these unfair things happen, or whatever you perceive to be unfair, and I'm just using myself as an example because this is real life, you know, and understand that when people put out content, people put themselves out there, or whatever anybody do, when you feel that it's not appreciated, it's not supported, you feel like you're putting more energy into something and not really getting the energy back, it is going to take a toll on you, no matter what you do. And yeah, I remember when I used to do lives and when people used to say slick shit, I used to be quick to snap back, and I'd be like, when you go work at McDonald's, or wherever the fuck you work, I know that you want to get paid, you know? And I remember saying that she made a comment similar to that. I thought it was funny because I was like, I used to say that all the time when people would come in and make rude comments, and I would be like, you come in here asking for a free reading and then get mad at me, or and when I say you have to pay. And I'm like, but when you go to work, you expect to get paid, right? Why do you expect me not to deserve to get paid? It's about deserving this. And there's a lot of things that happen to people, and people start to kind of condition themselves to believe that maybe I don't deserve because people are treating me like I don't deserve. You know what I'm saying? So one of the action steps is to not let what other people project on you affect you as much, because there's a lot of people that are greatly affected by other people's actions. There are people that, no matter how hard they try to hide it, or how tough they may appear, some people are very fragile, and it does affect them when people, it may not affect them the first few times, but when it happens constantly, it's like a rock, right? If you think of a rock, or like coral, for example, it's hard, it's resilient, but did you know that something like water can corrode it so much that it can literally disappear? It's like having something rub against you over and over and over again until it kind of it gets to you. It gets past your defense mechanism. It gets past your out of layer, your exoskeleton, so to speak. The protective layer that you put up. When something keeps happening over and over and over, it can definitely create this sense of unworthiness, especially when you're really trying hard and you're like, well, where's my recognition? You're working hard, twice as hard sometimes. You might be overqualified, and it happens in every type of scenario. It's not just what I'm doing here on YouTube. It could be you at your job. It could be you in your relationship. It could be you with family members. It could be that I'm trying, I'm investing, I'm pouring into people, I'm helping, I'm supporting, I'm there, I'm loyal, Why can't I get it in return? But the problem is when it's not, when you're not getting it in return, it's the way you're letting it affect you. And and like I said, no judgment. I'm saying that you're not wrong for feeling a certain way. You're not wrong for feeling sad or bad about it, right? Because you are human. You do deserve to be treated fairly. But what you do have is your own inner authority. With that inner authority, you have power, and that power is to not let certain situations bring you down and weaken your will to want to, or your drive or your ambition to want to keep going. The reasons I posted those videos about wanting to quit is because I've been wanting to quit for a very, very, very long time, you guys. This is not nothing new. I don't say a lot. I don't share a lot with you guys. I do sometimes, and I sometimes don't. When I do share, I'm always honest and authentic and transparent. I have been in the energy of wanting to quit because who wants to sit here and bust out 80 videos, 40 videos, whatever, how many amount of videos, but and put in hours and hours of work, and then you can barely make a living. Today I was watching some influencers, and I don't watch influencers as much. And these are influencers that I really used to support, and I still support them. I don't have anything against them. Just giving you, um, just sharing with you an observation that I've made. You have these influencers, and they typically look the same, right? They're typically very attractive. And part of their attractiveness, right, not just their physical attractiveness, is the fact that they're successful. And then I see these people, and these people are normal people. These are people that are very popular, and they're because of their popularity, it has afforded them the money, the finances to be able to live a particular lifestyle. And that lifestyle is very luxurious. They're able to travel, and they're able to buy all these designer clothes and designer bags, and buy expensive coffees every day, and get their nails done, and spend thousands on weaves, and just doing self-care, and just posting videos about them just living their life. And just doing that, you have so many people pouring into them. Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, and all this stuff, right? Giving them gifts, and giving them donations, or just giving them the likes. But then I look at people, and these are people that are more materialistically driven. This is not hate. This is not slander. This is just an observation, right? These are people that value materialistic things like purses and shoes and makeup, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just making an observation. But then you have people that are on a more spiritual path that don't put as much emphasis on materialistic things like purses and shoes and bags and trips and trinkets and makeup, and oh my god, I got to get my nails done. Oh my god, oh my god, I didn't, I got to go to Sephora today. Oh my god, I have to do this try on haul. I got to edit videos. I work so hard editing videos all day. Oh my god, right? I work so hard making this content for you guys. I work hard. And then I look at people who are more on a spiritual path, and they're struggling financially. And like I said, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with influencers. Like I said, I have a few that I do watch and I love. They're beautiful people, they're great people. I'm not saying that they don't deserve. I'm not saying that at all. They do deserve. I think everyone deserves. But I'm making an observation, and I want you guys to use critical thinking. This is not about judgment, because people are so quick to attack you, because people are so they're sheep. People have a hive sheep mentality where they're going to follow what looks very attractive to them. And you know this, if you have observed, if you are someone that use critical thinking, you know that pretty pretty sells. Looks sell. The prettier you are, the more popular you are, the more benefits and opportunities you get. The lighter you are. Let's just keep it real. But the observation in this particular discussion is people that are of the world, people that are more materialistically driven, people that value stuff versus people that are more spiritual, that may not put so much emphasis on stuff. Why are these people that are not maybe spiritually inclined? Some of them are, but let's just say these are just regular people, and they're manifesting. They're talking about, oh, I manifested my life, and I'm pretty sure you've seen some of these videos. I manifested my new car. I manifested my luxury apartment. I manifested my life. How I manifested six figures. How I manifested this. How I manifested that. Blah blah blah. Right, and then the spiritual folk who just want to make a living, they're struggling. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that. I noticed that. I was like, whoa, that's really strange. And then like the spiritual folk who do promote manifest, and I'm not saying all spiritual people. There obviously are some spiritual people or people who pose as being spiritual. Not everybody that claims to be spiritual is spiritual, you guys. Life, there's a lot of theatrics out there, but there are very successful spiritual people that are doing well financially. But I'm just saying, for the average reader, for example, some of us have been putting in the work to manifest and have been struggling. I thought about that, and I thought about, what is the difference? Does being spiritual make you less inclined or more inclined to have certain things, or you know what I'm saying? Um, so I thought about all of that, and I thought about all the challenges as a YouTuber. And I'm only using YouTube as an example because I'm a YouTuber. There's nothing else I can compare it to. So maybe you could look at your situation, maybe at a work in the workplace. Maybe you work in a environment where there's people that are getting better treatment than you. And it could be because of their gender, it could be because they're more popular amongst the bosses. Maybe there could be different reasons. Because I used to work, I used to work too. I used to work for a corporation. I worked in large corporations, large places where there's lots of people, and I worked in small environments. So I kind of know what it feels like to be micromanaged. I kind of know what it feels like to, what gender bias feels like. I know what it feels like to um, be a victim of gender inequality. I know all of that. Know how it feels like to get underpaid doing the same job, maybe doing it better than another person, but they're getting paid more because they may be a man or they may be a particular ethnicity. I've been through all of that, so I understand how that works. I feel like some of you guys are kind of looking at um, whether you want to admit it or not, because a lot of times a lot of people won't admit things. A lot of times people are in denial, and and it takes time for you to be honest with yourself. This is why I'm always preaching honesty, honesty, honesty. Be honest with yourself. And sometimes I have to give the harsh truth so that you guys can look at things from a different perspective. And again, the reason why I'm using these examples is these are the only examples I can use at this time. But when I look at situations like that, and I look at some of the reasons why I was frustrated, it was never coming from a place of envy. At some point, I was bitter. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I mean, at some point, I did become bitter because I'm like, I'm working twice as hard, or I know that I'm good at what I do. At least this is what I was trying to convince myself. I'm good at what I do, and sometimes I've questioned myself. Am I good? Am I really that great at what I do, or are people just boosting my head up? Because I'm like, if I'm so good and people are saying all these great things, why are the numbers not reflecting? Where's the support? Why do I gotta beg people to like or beg people to moderate? And this is why I don't do moderators. I don't give out moderators or have so many different moderators, because I've had moderators that didn't moderate. They just wouldn't moderate. And then when I would take it away, they would get mad. And it's like, but you're not even participating, you're not even acting like you want to participate or support. Or I would have to be like, please like the video, please like the video. It's like, when you feel like you're having to beg people just to give you support, do something that's free, like just to like the video, just to hit the subscribe button, you don't even have to pay. It's like, okay, well, if you don't fuck with me like that, if people don't really fuck with me, if I'm not valued for my gifts, then what's the point in doing it? You know what I'm saying? So there's some sort of challenge that you have, or you're having to look at, and you're having to make a decision about whether it's worth it, or whether it's something that you can keep doing. Because if it's not bringing you joy or happiness, is it really good for you? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how great you are at it. I told you guys the other day that there are many people that have left blue collar positions or really high positions to do something else that brings them fulfillment. Doctors, lawyers, teachers, all type of different people. They had to leave. And I'm seeing this all the time. This is not, I'm not saying anything that's not, that's new. This is real life. And there's this huge catharsis. And I always look at this card sometimes as catharsis energy, because there is something that has to come to an end so that you can reach this pinnacle. And Mars is asking you to take action, and it could be scary, but it's gonna require courage, whatever the action is, whether it's I'm so stressed out at this job and I can't do it anymore. I'm coming in here, I'm selling my soul, punching in on a clock, getting a paycheck, barely making a living. What is so fucking different about these 20 something year olds, these 18, 19-year olds becoming millionaires, doing so well versus me? You understand what I'm saying? Like, have you ever thought about that? Like, what am I fucking doing wrong? You can try to point the blame to yourself, because I've done that. I've done all of it. I've done all the analyzing. I've done all the, oh, let me change my pictures up, my thumbnails up, let me change my titles, let me do this, let me do that, let me try these type of videos. Trying to do the most just so that I can get views. And it's not happening. And it's not because I never got views. I've had videos that have done very well. I've had times where I've done very well financially, YouTube wise. But these last couple of months, I told you guys, the last 8 months, I've lost so many subscribers. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. Like I'm just gonna do a rough calculation, because last night I don't know, I was so emotional, I don't even know what number I threw out there. I had 22,100 something. And right now I think I have 21 6, I want to say 630. I'm not even sure. 470. So let's just say close to 500 subscribers. That's a lot. I'm losing subscribers, and it's not like I'm not posting content. It's not like I'm posting anything, you know, I'm not there's people posting videos, like, really posting videos of being very racist or being very judgmental, critical of other people, and they're not losing as many as subscribers. I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what have I done? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not posting anything offensive. At least I don't think I am. Maybe, am I posting something that's so offensive? And it's like, when you have to look at it, especially when you're doing this this is not a hobby, this is my livelihood. So when I look at this and I'm looking at the numbers and I'm looking at the likes, and I'm looking at the views, and I'm like, whoa, is, what do I do? What I've been doing is I kept posting, kept posting, kept posting, and kept posting, and kept posting, hoping that things would, you know, start to improve. Last quarter, shit just totally stopped. It literally just started going downhill, and that's where I've since last quarter is where I've been in this space of, I've always felt like I have to make some sort of change, but I kind of been like going back and forth on whether it's just me, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, can I just keep going? And I'm like, I felt, again, I felt very torn, because I felt like the only reason I'm going is because people keep asking me to keep going, but these are the people that are not really supporting. What am I keep going for? And I felt like I'm just a slave now for people to give, the collectives. They want to hear the readings. They want to get ooh, let me see if I can, if I could get information, and it's at my expense. And I would say, like, this feels a little selfish. You want me to keep going, but I'm not happy. I'm not benefiting. I'm not getting the money that I need to keep to survive. How am I to survive off of doing free readings? How am I supposed to pay my bills? Does anyone care about that? Or is it just you need to keep putting out content? And I'm not talking about y'all specifically because I know that you guys are not like that, but I'm just saying in general, if I had people make comments like, just keep going. Don't give up. And I'm like, I get it, I get it, I get it. But do you not understand that this is how I make my money? It doesn't just fall out of the sky for me, you guys. I got to work for it. I have no issues working for it, but if I don't have the support, or if I don't, I'm not a big YouTuber. I have a small following. And with the following I have, I could barely get fucking more than how much people I got? Four fucking people watching me. I can't, I never had more than, I don't think I ever had more than 20 people join my live. And I've seen my clients in other people's lives rooting for them, going hard for them. And they have not done that for me. Do you know how that makes me feel? I've seen clients who used to claim they fucks with me, that they love me so much, would never want to moderate when I made them moderators, but see them in other people's lives moderating, cheering them on. And I'm like, where was that energy when you was so called loving me and supporting me? So I digress. So back to this. There is this need to fight, or you feel like you're fighting a lost cause, or let's talk about judgment a little bit. And I really don't like talking about this stuff. Like, honestly, I just want to quit, like, and just stop doing it and to not even have to deal with this shit. But the thought of me becoming an employee breaks my heart. The thought of me having to go work for someone, that has been a struggle. In February 1st hit, I had over 20 job offers out of nowhere. People just offering me jobs, calling me my phone, emailing me over and over and over. And I'm like, what is this universe? What are you trying to tell me? I did not accept any of the, I mean, I didn't put out any requests for jobs. I wasn't looking. They were just coming to me. And I'm like, I didn't even know what to do. I didn't know if I was being tested. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, if I take this job, I'm going against myself because I told myself I would never work for someone, but I need this money. And I was so torn, and I decided not to. I decided that that is not what I want to do. I don't want to have to go punching on somebody's clock. I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to go sell my soul and sit behind a cubicle and answer phone calls all day. I couldn't, I've done it for so long. I've done that shit for 15 plus years. I couldn't see myself doing that. I couldn't. Not that I'm looking down on anyone that has a job. I just couldn't see myself doing it. I've been doing that shit all my life. And to go back to having to do that and being miserable, I just couldn't see myself doing it. Of course, I have a different perspective now because I'm in a position where I have no choice. I have to do something. And I've been just in this space of feeling humiliated and just feeling like a failure. I told you guys that last night. Um, let's look at the judgment card. I always have to work harder, longer, to get any kind of recognition. It's always been like that my whole life. And if I complain or try to tell people this is what I'm going through, it's always judgment. When I in private, because I used to tell people in private, I never used to say anything to you guys. I would tell certain people in private, and it would always be judgment. It would always be, well, did you try this? Did you try that? And I'm just like, listen, I've tried everything. You need to be more positive. I've tried that. I've tried posting more content. I've tried changing up the content. I tried showing myself. I've tried different things. I know how to fucking read. And I know my readings are not just surface level bullshit readings. I don't care if you know, and I know that not everybody's going to receive my readings. They are long, and sometimes they can be overwhelming. And sometimes people don't want to hear what I got to say because they're not ready to hear it. But one thing I will tell you, the reading will transpire. I have a different way of channeling the information. I don't channel like everyone else. I don't articulate the message like everyone else. I know that. I have a unique style. And some people just want easy. They want easy. They want me to just say, yeah, this person's gonna come back. They're here to stay. No, but that's not, even if that's true, but that might not be what you, I've had clients that I saw them accepting proposals and getting married to the wrong people. And sometimes I would not say anything, and sometimes I would. Sometimes I would have to give them the harsh truth and hurt their fucking feelings because I knew that if I didn't, the universe would say, tell them. And I would have to sacrifice and tell them. And sometimes I wouldn't want to. And sometimes I would do the reading and then go back and be like, why did you make me tell this person that this man is not, and it would be like, because this person needs to wake the fuck up. They're not going to wake up if you don't tell them in that way, if you don't speak to them in that way. And I've told people, if I've hurt some feelings, they'll stop coming to me. And then it will happen and they'll tell me, oh, it came true, everything you said. I've had people tell me how much they love me, they support me, and won't even give me the time of day, unfollowed me for no reason. I've had a lot of stuff. I've had people that come to me for readers, and they're blowing up, their channels are doing well, and have never, ever shouted me out, not even mentioned my name. When a shout out could help my channel, it's like, why? It's free. YouTube, being on YouTube and liking and subscribing is fucking free. Why wouldn't you want somebody else to do well? Why would you want it all for yourself? I've had so many things happen, and I always question myself every single time. And it always goes back to worth. So, in a general context, the Judgment Tarot card reverse can signify self doubt. This is keeping you from making a decision that's necessary to move forward in a positive direction. Now's the time to take action. This is what Spirit is saying. Something is keeping you from making, there's something preventing you, self doubt, from making a decision. This decision could be quit that fucking job, stop doing these tarot fucking readings, or leave that fucking relationship, whatever. And it says here that I don't know why my phone is doing this dumb shit. This is so fucking annoying. You see how it's moving? It won't fucking stay. Because I'm trying to get this whole message out. Let me stop talking about myself. It says, now is the time to take action. If you delay, you may lose out on opportunities. I'm the queen of missed opportunities, by the way. Um, And it says, fuck. Or this could mean that you're not learning a lesson from the past, or you may be reproaching yourself and are unable to see your mistakes. Judgment reverse can also be a sign that you're taking your focus off your own shortcomings by being overly critical of others or engaging in malicious gossip. This will only back on fixing. This will only. Um, I can't read it. I don't know what's wrong with my phone. So basically, you're going to need to take some sort of action. You could be highly critical or judgmental. I was in a stage of doing that. I'm not going to lie. When I see bullshit readings, I used to be like, oh, that reading bullshit. Like that person's readings are bullshit, but they're doing so well. They're getting so many views, so many donations, so many people love them. They are not even reading the cards right, like stuff like that. That was years ago, but I got out of that. I just kind of like whatever. It is what it is. They might be getting the recognition because maybe they did some good shit in another lifetime. Maybe they're getting good karma. Maybe they've done something. I don't know. um, but Spirit is saying there's a need for you to take action so that you can move in a positive direction. Can we get a clarifying judgment in reverse? I'm never gonna come on here and be fake with you guys. We got Juno partnership again. This is meeting new people, better people, getting support, having more supportive friends. I'm so sick and tired of the friends that I've encountered recently and in the past, where people would claim that they're my friends, but never do any friendship shit. Like they'll be your friend, and maybe they're in the beginning, and then they just not you never hear from them. They never talk to you. They never call you. They never text you. But they're your friends. But whatever. Um. So Juno's showing up. So new partnerships. Something about taking action. Let me see what Juno's saying because I just got this deck. So just bear with me. The asteroid Juno points out how you have been trained to choose between love and work and offers clues on how to balance them instead. This asteroid was named after the daughter of Saturn, wife of Jupiter. Yeah, that's what I thought. Mother of Mars. She is queen. That's what I said. I think isn't Juno Jupiter's wife? That's what I was saying last night. Um, she is queen, the organizer of society, and she rules the roost. Juno and Jupiter modeled an uneasy but equal partnership that took a lot of work and had great rewards. In work and love, Juno wants you to trust that you can hold steady on your life's path and develop equal partnerships. So get in there and wrestle to make the relationship work. So this is about fighting to make relationships work, putting in the work, um, or this is you acknowledging that people need to start putting in the work and the effort. There needs to be some sort of equal give and take. And this is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what type of relationship it is. If you feel like you're always struggling to get people to treat you fairly, to get people to appreciate the contributions you make, because you could be doing a lot for people, you could be so giving, so helpful, always there for people, always have people back, but you may not feel like it's people may not be doing that shit for you, and you could be questioning yourself like, is it me? What's wrong with me? Like, why people do me like this? You understand? And this could be in a relationship sense too. You could be trying to figure out whether it's okay to fight for a relationship or not. Should I invest in a relationship? Should I try to fight for this? Because at some point maybe you have been putting a lot of time and work and energy into a romantic relationship, but then it's like you get to a point where you feel like, is this all in vain? Is this person putting as much work in to show me that it's worth it for them too? Because if you got to struggle to get somebody to text you back or to call you back, or you got to struggle to get somebody to show up and just be honest with you, be real with you, or communicate with you, if you got to fight to get someone to do that, is it really worth it? Says, Research healthy relationship skills and study negotiation and mediation techniques. Practice respect, communication, love, and conflict resolution between the various facets of your own personality. Like Juno and Jupiter, strive to become two whole, empowered souls who can express their individual potential, work around each other's foibles, and find balance. I don't know what that word means. Be responsible for your own connection to the creative source spirit and your emotions. Don't ask another to carry your heart for you, as it makes it hard to accept their unique path. Live out your ambition through your own work rather through your mate, children, employees, or coworkers. If you do so, you can encourage others' growth and exploration along with your own, and so create the foundation of great relationships and a sense of community. If you don't, you can devolve into jealousy or create monsters. If you want to be in a partnership but are not, examine any beliefs or training that said you have to give up what matters to you in order to partner up. If it's a choice to work alone, accept it. If not, expand the view and invite fresh possibilities. Challenge. If you live out your ambition through your mate or work partner instead of through your own efforts, the situation can devolve into jealousy, manipulation, and disempowerment and micromanagement. And this is what I was saying. So that's what I was saying, that it could be within a personal relationship or it could be at work. And it says the gift, true partnership is a spiritual path. Its sacred acts are the practice of healthy relationship skills. These skills begin within. So if there is an issue with you cultivating healthy partnership relationships and friendships, there is an evaluation, and there is this doubting yourself, overly being critical, or you feel like you're being judged and people are being overly critical of you. And if there is, this is about standing up for yourself when it's valid. This is not all times. You don't always have to stand up for yourself. Standing up for yourself, because Mars is about standing up for yourself as well. There could be some sort of challenging relationship coming through here. Mars urges you to take action, any action, but this can get you in trouble. Jump into motion, but stay in the driver's seat and think through the consequences of your moves. Mars is raw energy, and like the motor of a fine sports car, it could take you far if you add wisdom and guidance. Mars wants you to develop your strength and bravery. So work on developing your work out and develop your muscles and rescue the proverbial underdog. Boldly go where you have not gone before and passionately dive into life. Mars loans you the competitive edge to obtain a fiercely desired goal and teaches you for your yes to truly mean yes, your no needs to be respected. Know what you want and don't want, and be aware of those desires in the people around you. Learn to fight and fight fairly. Stand your ground with grace and compete against your own personal best. If you are in a difficult situation, it could take real strength and willpower to transform or escape. You may need to dig in your heels so you are not pushed around or pull out your sword to draw a clear line in the sand. Do what needs to be done, just make sure it's done. You're doing the right thing. Okay. Challenge: domineering, willfulness, misuse of sexuality, anger, belligerence, and warlike mentality are shadow sides of Mars. Break the momentum if your situation heads downhill. Stop for a moment and think through your next move. The gift of Mars. The higher node of Mars energy manifests as a divine guardian, your potent inner first responder who is ready to be the hero in a dangerous situation and protect you and yours. This is about you protecting yourself, cultivating relationships with people who respect you, who reciprocate, who love and support you. Okay. And this is also about you having the courage to meet new people, make friends, or even invite a partnership finally. Because maybe some of you guys feel that the challenge is that you're having a hard time finding a partnership. It's not always about work, and it's not always about love for some of you guys. I have the Queen of Wands and the King of Pentacles. So we have a fire sign and an earth sign. This is about cultivating some sort of grounding yourself, especially when it comes to work. So this is balance, balancing out something here when it comes to work, building a foundation. I do feel like there is this need for you to find a healthy median, or balance, a healthy balance. Work and play. I'm feeling a pleasure coming off the Queen of Wands. Pleasure. Now there could be an earth sign, a Taurus, that is dealing with a Aries woman. Clarify. Jupiter, yeah, abundance. This is beautiful. This is about expansion. So there is some sort of expansion when it comes to finances and career, because the pinnacle for you is gaining that medium of putting in the work, but being able to attract, because this is about popularity and recognition, attracting the recognition you deserve. But it requires you to recognize your, recognize what's within first. And if there is something within that's telling you that you're not good enough, you need to eliminate that part of you. You need to fight against the shadow. And first, yeah, look, see, I'm trusting there's some sort of arguments, because Spirit is saying be on guard. So Spirit is warning me. There's always this warning coming up, and I'm trying to understand avoiding an argument. What is this? Because this is definitely sometimes um presented when someone is speaking some sort of truth, or there's some sort of harsh words being spoken. Spirit is saying trust. This is the universe is asking you to trust that your needs will be met, or there is a spiritual reason why you're experiencing this cycle. It says connect with your spirit guides, and it says be on guard with who you deal with. There's some sort of dispute or arguments, so there could be something coming up. Trust your inner authority. There's some sort of tower coming around, some sort of um argument or fight, or maybe needing to stand up for yourself. Clarify arguments. Unrequited love. Virgo, there's baby mama and hidden enemy. What the hell? So there is a conflict. I'm also seeing that someone is gossiping. I did see that with the judgment card. Someone is gossiping. So this Mars energy is actually competition. Someone's talking about you, and this is a hidden enemy. This just popped up. I wasn't even thinking about other people. I was really just thinking about focusing on you, but it came out. So I just want to, let you know. Yeah, see, you're kind. Spirit is saying don't give up hope. We have Libra. So we have a Libra friend, and we have a soul tie. We have a wife, and we have good karma. Damn. Who are we talking about? Who is this about? I got a few people coming through. So I got a Libra coming through. I had yeah, this person's in a codependent relationship. Okay, so tea time. Are you guys ready for tea? So let's see what this is. So it is talking about a partnership, and it is talking about Mars. So this midheaven is telling you that you are going to reach your goal. And the goal is bless some sort of wish fulfillment. But you have to fight. You have to fight and not give up, because this is you feeling tempted to give up. And this has something to do with a future partnership, something that is going to bring you into alignment with meeting someone that you're meant to be with, or getting back together with someone you're meant to be with, and something with work, some sort of expansion with work. Can you show me where the expansion is with work, with the midheaven? Yeah, getting the recognition you deserve, especially if you're doing some sort of act of service, if you're giving out to people, you will be received well, because there is this energy where you see where you can give more of yourself. It's saying that there is some sort of good karma, because it says donating can create positive energy and attract more abundance. So Spirit is saying that you are going to attract more abundance because you're going to be cultivating good karma. Okay, or this could be good karma for something you've already done. But there is some sort of something destined to take place connected to this lost energy. So something is going to come to an end. Has something to do with a wife here. Wasn't expecting that. So this could be, so this is the love portion. So this is the love portion of the message, and then I'm going to wrap it up. If you want a reading, am accepting orders. If I didn't say that, I'm going to reiterate that. So the love portion. So what's going on with his wife? They be telling me stuff, and I really don't be interested because I'm not interested in somebody else's relationship, and I'm not interested in a man that has freshly come out of a marriage. Why would I want to date somebody that's freshly out of a marriage? It's going to take him time to heal and process. Like, especially if he doesn't even know how to do relationships right? You understand what I'm saying? Because not everybody that comes out of a marriage is experienced. So you could be in a marriage of convenience. I want someone that doesn't have a lot of baggage. Can I just get somebody, maybe one kid, maybe never married? If he was married, maybe I need someone that's I can't take it. I feel like I really feel like an underdog. Like I feel like I don't know. Like and it's like I feel like with the underdog energy, what it comes with is just getting always getting the challenge relationship where you gotta. I don't want a relationship where I gotta fight like to keep it. You understand? Like I don't want it to be like that. I want to have. I mean, I know that in real life you do have to fight for things. And I've said this to you guys. I said that if you guys want to win the game, you gotta play. I said a lot of you guys. The problem is you're not getting in the game. You're not getting. You're wanting to have the prize, but you're not willing to play. And I get that concept. But why does it always have to be a struggle for certain people? Some people got it easy. Some people don't have to do much. They're being showered with gifts. They're being taken on trips. They're being flued out. But then there's other women that have to literally struggle to get a man to choose them or to do right. But like, why the fuck? Who wants that shit? I don't want it. But anyways, I don't want it. I'd rather be by myself. Four swords. Yeah, somebody here is in a very stressful environment. And they're contemplating separation. They haven't quite made a decision about it yet because when I look at the four swords, I think about a need for rest, a need for, some time alone. You know what I mean? Like a little bit of a retreat so that you can gather your thoughts and kind of figure out what your next action steps are. Or there could be that there was a separation and now someone is ready to come out of hiding, maybe come out of this retreat. So it could be either or. I'm going to get another layer of information for that. I do see Peacemaker at the bottom of the deck. Clarify the four swords in reverse. Yeah, perseverance. Yeah, patience. See, persistence. I'm sorry, I said perseverance. I meant to say persistence. I read the part wrong. See what I'm saying? And it says your efforts have not gone unnoticed. See, there's a persistence. There's a keep going, keep going, keep going. It says hard work is required. To be patient. You got to keep working hard. Either working hard on healing or learning the lesson before this could come in. And this may take time and whatever, however much time it takes, you're required to be patient, or this is not giving up because you're being patient so that this person can do the work. Like, I really don't like this message. I really don't want to do readings anymore because this message is really getting to me. It really is. I don't want this. I don't know who would want this. Who would want this? Having to wait and wait and wait and wait on somebody to fucking make a decision is so insane, and I can't handle it. I see lots of people like effortlessly for them. Effortless. So we have unrequited love here. So you're being asked to be patient. Once again, which is no problem. But so the Four of Swords reverse can indicate that your relationship is slowly recovering after a difficult period. Okay, so there's a slow recovering after some sort of difficulty. So there could be an opportunity to recover a relationship that was in shambles, especially if you're married. Now, it's also saying it can indicate stress and anxiety. That's how I read it at first. And your partner are experiencing, yeah, there's stress and anxiety you and your partner are experiencing have spiraled and is pushing your relationship to the breaking point. Look to supporting cards to confirm this. If you are single, the Four of Swords reverse can indicate a period of recovery and healing. See what I'm saying? This is why Spirit is saying be patient. You're recovering, you're healing. So, this is what it says. This is recovery or healing after releasing yourself from a bad relationship. And I don't think this is you. I think that you are coming out of a healing period, or I feel like you've been already in your healing period. What I see here, and this is what makes me a little frustrated, is that your person was in a very stressful relationship, a relationship where there's lots of fighting, and they are releasing this relationship in the process or have released it. But the problem is that they're still healing. So it says here, somebody here is still mourning. Okay, there's still bereavement. Remember, I did that live when I talked about bereavement. When I said a lot of you guys have been grieving and you're going through this bereavement, there's 5 stages of grief. You go through these different stages of grief. And the last stage, or the stage that you want to reach, is the stage of acceptance. So there's some sort of need for acceptance here. Um, so that's when someone's ready to move on and ready to start something new. So you could be on either side of the fence. It could be you, it could be your person of interest, or it could be both of you guys. Because the bereavement has been very prevalent in most of the readings that I've done. You are slowly getting ready to come out of isolation. So this is what I was saying. This is about coming out of that energy of retreat or isolation, and now you're ready to rejoin the world. Maybe you're ready to date. Maybe you're ready to you know, maybe you have fears and anxiety when it comes to dating. Maybe you have lost faith that you'll ever have a healthy relationship. Hence why Spirit is saying be hopeful. Something about a friend who might be a Libra, but they're in a soul tie relationship and they're married. So that's for somebody. And the reason why you're being asked to be patient is because Spirit is saying that this person has to kind of have a realization that they're in an unrequited love situation and they're having to end that. And then that might be the person that you're meant to be with, but they're still in this relationship. And Spirit is saying, don't give up just yet. Um, there may be hope that this person will leave. Can you imagine you're being told to wait for someone to leave another woman, and that person takes 3 years or 4 years or 5 years to leave that woman, and that's the person that you're supposed to, that's your hope, that's your wish fulfillment? Like, that's anyways. um It says you may need to accept counseling or support, even though you do not believe it will do any good. It may help you get some perspective and positivity back so that you can move forward. In a career reading, the Four of Swords in reverse can indicate that you may be going back to work after a break, illness, or other period of time off. You may have needed to take this time off to get your stress levels down or under control. Now you feel like you're able to manage your work and work environment. Make sure that you have strategies for coping with stress, because when I saw it, I felt stress immediately. Um, Alternatively, this card can indicate that your levels of stress or anxiety in your career have reached a boiling point. Me, And it may be time to start considering looking for a new job. And that could be some of you guys out there. So those are the two scenarios that would fit. And those are the two, that's what I basically was talking about. Getting to a point where you're so frustrated, where you're reaching your breaking point. And it says here, ask yourself if any job is worth, ask yourself if any job is worth, if it makes you this unhappy. Any job is worth it if it makes you this unhappy. And this is what I was talking about in the beginning. Is it even worth it after doing something and not receiving fulfillment, or you're not happy? And as perhaps you are meant to do something else. It could mean that your finances are recovering after a period of difficulty, and I hope that that's what it means for me. So this is what it means for financial, for someone, that your efforts have not gone unnoticed and success is around the corner, but you just need to be patient. You're just being asked to trust that things will get better, and that Jupiter is going to bring in some sort of abundance. Okay. And it's also saying that your finances are going to recover. You should be feeling relief from the pressure, or it could indicate that you're completely overwhelmed with the financial pressures and you're heading towards burnout. However, it's that you're not accepting the help and support that is available to you. If you are struggling with that, there are organizations that can assist you. All right. So those are the scenarios here, but we do have some situation with some unrequited love. Let's clarify, what's this Libra energy? And that's a relationship. Yeah, someone has to come out of denial before this, and there is a need for healing. So yeah, so there could be someone here that's in another relationship, which is represented in this Libra energy. It doesn't have to be an actual Libra. It could be. And until that person comes out of that relationship, you're going to have to be patient. In the meantime, it looks like there's something with finances, though. So tell me about this Libra energy. So the Mars energy is the problem, is the conflict, and their overcoming is the midheaven. There is recognition coming. There is this overcoming and learning a lesson. Whatever the lesson is, yeah, I see ascendant, and there's Gemini. It's this cross pollinate. It's this entrance. And then we have the eighth house mystery. So huge change, huge transformation, Uranus. Spontaneous awakening, I'm hearing. Yeah, you got to learn a lesson, or someone does, in order. So the problem with you not moving forward or not being ready, or them not moving forward or not being ready, is all predicated on learning this lesson. And the lesson is learning how to move on from unrequited love, from something that happened, from something that was very painful, healing from it. And remember, what we had with the Pentacle card was the Three of Swords in reverse, which represents the healing. This represents healing. And if it is somebody that has already left a relationship, they have to heal first. If there's just someone that you're meant to be with, or whatever, this trust, what are you asking the collective to trust? Yeah, that you will get justice. See, this is the balance. This is why I was showing you the unfair, unjust treatment, the things you've been through, not getting recognition, not getting the fair relationships, being the underdog, not getting the opportunities, being always having an obstacle. So there is some sort of justice coming in. There could be a divorce. Let's see what cross pollinate. That sounds very interesting. I'm gonna read that, and then I'm not gonna, keep you guys any longer. Um, with the symbols of a pair of twins conversing, Gemini asks us to weave a web of connections and build networks for humor and all forms of communication. This mutable air sign is ruled by Mercury and is connected to the lungs, shoulders, shoulders, hands, and nerves. Gemini purpose is to disperse ideas like milk thistle on the spring winds. Cross pollinate ideas like bees buzzing over flowers. The sun shines here through May 21st and June 21st. Words are at the heart of the issue you are facing. And not just any words, but real dialogue. If you feel tension in the situation, see what is blocking the lines of communication and open that aperture. Listen to the grapevine and cross pollinate. Gather and share information. Bits of truth may float in on gossip. Explore social media, sound bites, and in any other way to get the word out. Talk to people as if they are your siblings, true equals. If something is bothering you, find a place to unpack it. This is what we're talking. This is basically what I've been talking about this whole time. Find a way to unpack it and get it on the table and take a good look and talk it over in depth with a friend or a therapist or write it in your journal. And I talked about this. I think I did a reading and I told somebody to write a journal. Um, Trust the process of self expression to help get to the root of the problem. However, assume anything you say will be repeated. Gemini scatters seeds, is not concerned with privacy or individuality, and is not necessarily loyal. Challenge. The situation may be more complex than you think, so be willing to dig in. Gemini energy can be shallow and oversimplified, as it encourages breadth rather than depth. This means surface level. This is what I was talking about. I'm telling you. This is surface level versus in depth conversation versus like me sharing, me telling you like what I've been feeling. Some of you guys have been feeling a way and you need to get it out. Um, so you have to have depth consciously. The gift. So that was the challenge. The gift. Gemini's gift is an open mind and a sense of universal siblinghood. We are all in this together. The soul knows how to find itself back in equilibrium if we just let all parts communicate. Help the unexpressed feelings, persons, and elements within the community be heard. So they're saying the starting point is with communication. It is finding, so there is a need to trust the process. Yeah. And the goal will be obtained if you take small action steps. There's something with communication, with social media, with putting in the work. You see with this laborer? Yeah, to take you to the next level. So part of this message is about um, standing up for yourself through communication. Possibly, let's just say you're at a job and you're not being treated fairly, you may need to speak out. If you're in a relationship, there needs to be, you know, a conversation. You're dependable and loyal nature, or you may need to look at someone and realize that someone's not a loyal friend, or there's a community of people that are not loyal. Maybe there's people, maybe you're not being supported in the way you deserve, and maybe it's time for you to move on. Then in the relationship, someone is dealing with an unloyal person. There's gossip going around, and someone was not trusting this gossip, or maybe avoiding this gossip, didn't want to face the truth of this gossip, but this gossip is starting to reveal, yeah, see, reveal who is your friend versus who isn't your friend. We have someone obsessed, and we have a test, of course. I don't know what the rising means. Really don't know what that fucking means. But whatever this test is it's taking you to a new cycle or someone you're connecting to. What does rising mean? And who's obsessed? So your enemies are obsessed with you. They're obsessed with the fact that you're ascending. They don't like the fact that you're ascending. They don't like the fact that you're going to the next level. They don't want to see you do that. So they're going to cause chaos. And what they're doing is they're affecting your reputation. They're talking about you. Or somebody at your job is talking shit about you, or somebody has heard you speak your truth, is seeing your talent and seeing your presence on social media, or seeing your pictures you posted. And they don't want you to succeed. They don't like you for whatever fucking reason. Hence, spiritual attack. It could be strangers, it could be people you fucking know. But whoever the fuck it is, you're rising through above and beyond and surpassing this test. But part of this test is you not letting it bring you down. Because, yeah, they may be obsessed, but you have a higher power of looking out for you, moving you through this new cycle. Can we find out why these hidden enemies are obsessed? Can we at least find out why? Well, they're getting bad karma. Yeah, they're mad because they're getting bad karma. Something connected to a twin flame, your good heart again, the community, other people, Aquarius, wish fulfillment as well. So we have the sun shining light on the darkness, on what's hidden. We have I need you. Will you marry me? Contract. Yeah, the universe. Okay, so the universe is trying to intervene and help your person or someone you're meant to be with. And spirit is referring to this person as your twin flame. Spirit saying that they're trying to get this person to break up and come out of a contract. They're also trying to get this person to have the courage to make a phone call. Or the breakup is triggered by a communication, some sort of gossip, some sort of phone call. That's what's coming through. Someone wants to marry you because they know that you have a good heart, or the realization is that they should marry you because you have a good heart, because you've been loyal, or you've proven yourself to be with integrity. But this is the I have to prove myself. I have to wait to get picked, chosen. That's the shit that I don't fucks with. I don't want no parts of it. I don't care. I don't understand why other people. It's so easy for other people to for someone